Hey everyone, it's Nina Palmer with ninapalmer.com, your local realtor with Better Homes and Gardens, 43 degrees north in Boise, Idaho. I am coming to you with a weekly market review. This last week, there's twice as many active listings as there was the week before. I've always told my clients that are listing homes that the third week of January is about when you want to list if you're thinking of a spring listing, and so is every other agent because there's twice as many active listings. So I'm just looking at Ada and Canyon and Gem County at the moment. 459 new listings. So I'm just going to pull those up and take a look at what has come on the market. Let's see. If you have any questions or if we're looking for anything specific, feel free to chime in. This is a live Q&A as well. So let's just get these ordered in order here. So between all of these listings, we have everything from 1.6 million in Eagle all the way down to I think this keeps going, 445. Shh. I don't know if I'm ever going to train the bark out of that dog. I love him though. Let's see. I feel like there were some lower price point ones in here, so I feel like it just can't fit all 459 on one. So I'm going to narrow down this search a little bit because some of them are new construction. So I'm just going to go into their age. I'll tell you the biggest difference between you looking for a home online and your realtor looking for a home is our criteria is so much more extensive than what you could do yourself online. You could look for bedrooms and bathrooms and rough square footage, but I can take this down to your loan type, for example. I can make it really specific. Okay, so that dropped it to 288. So I just took out everything that's under construction and that is to be built. So that took it down to 288. So you have existing homes, 288. So let's refresh the search and see what we get now. Let's see. So there's one I want to check out anyways, just because it says 35,000 and it's not land. Oh, it's a trailer. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, you can buy a single wide for dirt cheap. Let's filter those out as well. Let's do single family. Let's see. Back we go. So type. Let's change that to single family. And single family with acreage, 268. There we go. Okay. I think that, so there's still a single wide that showed up, but I think you probably have somebody that put in single family instead of mobile. So we'll skip that one. So first I start by the price. We have, in this last week, we have quite a few, I would say the most I've seen in a while, of over $1 million homes hop on. So that's 8 that are now listed. None of them are super new. They're all, there's one that's 1 to 5 years old. The rest of them are all 10 to 30. There's one that's over 80 years old. Oh, that one we went over last week. That's from last Thursday, the one that's downtown. Let's see, going down, there's a good chunk in the 700s, a little in Caldwell, Boise, quite a few in Eagle. Eagle's going to have that higher price point for most homes, but also they're going to give you a lot of square footage for that price. One of the perks of Eagle, it still has a really small town feel to it, and it's a little downtown. It's well connected to all the other cities around it, like Boise, Garden City, Meridian, Star. It's close to everything. It's off of a main road, and then it has the river going through it. So Eagle really is a beautiful place. It's just, and it continues to expand. It works its way, it's like heading towards Horseshoe Bend. It would take a long time for it to get there, but it's taking that freeway out that way. A lot of the farmland that was in Eagle, see, when I moved here 25 years ago, it was mostly just farmland, and they were just starting to develop some of it, and it has just grown into a really pretty high-end part of our area. So there's a ton that came up in the 600s, so it'll be worth it to scroll back and see what some of those look like. There's a lot in the 500s. I just realized I'm going to say that about every $100 increment because there was like over 200. So yeah, there's a lot in all categories. So I do have a couple of clients coming up that are going to be shopping around the 200s. So I am going to scroll down and see if I can find anything there. See, it only shows me the first 100. That's my problem. So I'll flip it. That's all I have to do is just flip it. Make it go the other way. So if you're thinking about moving to Idaho, little weather update. I would like to say that Idaho is a bit of a tease when it comes to seasons. We had a few days of it being a little sunny, a little warmer. Just kidding, snow the next 2 days. Now it's been raining and it's warming up a little bit, but we struggle to get out of winter. We just get little hits of sunshine and then it'll dump on us. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Okay, so there are a good handful of properties that came up that are well under 200. So if you are a first-time home buyer, if you are looking for an investment property, if you are struggling with what your mortgage payment would be at a certain price point and what you're approved for, these would be properties worth looking at. I'm seeing a few in Caldwell between, you got 119 up to 130. So you're going to start seeing more of these like really low priced homes. I will say though, a lot of them are 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So that's something to keep in mind. And the ones that have a larger square footage or more bedrooms typically are going to be a little bit more of the fixer-uppers in that price point. So for example, there is one in Nampa that popped up for about 145. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, almost 1,800 square feet. So I want to see what kind of shape is it in. Let's see. Has hardwood floors, good. Near new furnace, that's good. Large family room, RV parking. There's a lot of pluses here. Okay, so this one has kind of a lending specific request to, it prefers cash or conventional. So again, that tells me that either you have a seller that doesn't want to entertain those offers or they're not looking to make the improvements that would qualify it. So you may have a bit of a fixer-upper, but it actually looks pretty good. I think this would be a great investment property for 145. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,800 square feet. You'd need to have its inspection done and make sure it's worth the investment there, but I think that would be a great investment property. So if you're looking for an investment property, call me and I will let you know the address and we'll figure out if it is a good deal. Only built back in the 70s, not that long ago. It's not that old. It is that old. It's not that old. Okay. So then we go up to 160. I've actually been on, it's on Boehner Road in Caldwell, and I've actually looked at a few properties out there. Most of those are acreages. Yeah, it's got 4 acres on it. So for that price, I'm going to want to check that out. I'm wondering if the value is more in the land So out on Boehner Road, I mean, it's out there a ways, kind of the backside of Caldwell, more the country part of Caldwell. But this particular little subdivision that street is on, one of the reasons that my clients liked it is it attached to multiple canals. So if you had horses, you could go in almost any direction and ride your horse, and had the acreage for it. So I'm just wondering what the condition of the home itself is, or is it might just be, it's mostly just the land. See, you can't call that single family. That looks like a trailer. So I think you'd have to build on it. But to buy 4 acres for 160, I think you can figure out how to put a house on that acreage and make it work. What it currently has on it is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 700 square feet. And from the pictures, it doesn't look like a frame home. I'm getting so duped today. These are not single family homes. It's because they want to put acreage in there. That's probably why. So off of Highway 52 in Emmett, there's another one for 160. So this is probably going to be more of a single family home. So let's check it out. It looks a little double wide, but nice. Looks new. Looks really new. That's the difference. If you go from, all of these cities that are touching each other, so Caldwell, Nampa, Kuna, Meridian, Star, Boise, like all of these are going up in prices, and everybody's kind of congregating here. As everybody moves here, that's where they want to live. But those outskirt, more disconnected towns, their prices they're still going up, but just not as fast. So somewhere like Emmett, and I've talked about Emmett before, but Emmett is a little bit on its own little island. It's down in a valley, and you have to go through a long drive to get to about 16 miles on Highway 16, easy to remember. So it's kind of solo over by itself. Its property values are not really going up dramatically. So with the prices not going up very quickly, you're still able to get, that's the difference, right? So we're looking at Caldwell, and that many bedrooms and bathrooms, and then here we are, Emmett, same price, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, about 1,400 square feet, and you have what looks like a brand new open layout home on, let me check acres, because that looks like it's on it's on half of an acre. So, and you can get a lot of bang for your buck out there. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so moving on. Got another one in Emmett for 165, also a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Out in Wilder. Now Wilder is getting even further out there. But it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath for 170, but it's on over 5 acres. So if you get a little further out, you can definitely get yourself some more land. Let's see, you got one out in Greenleaf. That's probably a nice little house. So there are so many homes that have popped up, and look, there's so many at 199.9, 199.9, 1, 2, 3, and then at 205. So this is right where I'm at with a couple of my clients, is just right in this like 180 to 200 range, and seeing if I can find them something in here. And I think that I would go with probably this. I want to find one that's remodeled. So for $199 to find my client a remodeled home, I would be looking at Nampa, Caldwell. Those would be for like your starter homes. You could find 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And then in Boise, you can find on the bench a remodeled home, but probably a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. But you would be right in Boise. I've lived on the bench before. It's a really nice area. It's an older, mid-century area. Little hit or miss. You have like a row of rentals and a row of homeowners and another of more renters. It's extremely mixed up. Lots of mature trees. I always had tree roots grow into my bathtub that we had to snake out once a year. Just the plight of living in an older home. They have tons of charm, but they come with their own dilemmas, right? So that is what I'm looking for, is a remodeled home. So case in point, oh, this is huge though. So Boise Bench, $199.9, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. However, it's only 1,375 square feet. So that tells me it has small bedrooms, most likely. I would almost want to maybe knock down a wall and make it a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom and have a little bit larger rooms. And that price point, I wouldn't expect remodeled. And so it's off to a really good start. It's got a lot of wood and some stone. It doesn't look totally remodeled. Let's see what they say here. It looks like maybe the project got started and they didn't quite finish. I can kind of tell by the pictures, but I can also see that the cabinets look newer. The appliances don't. The floors look, you'll find a lot of original hardwood on the bench. Also downtown Nampa and the north end in Boise, and like micro downtown Meridian. You'll find real hardwood that you can refinish and restore. Just like my favorite thing to do in a house. So I feel like this is a halvesy. Let's see. With a bit of love, this will be a charmer. Good investment. Room off kitchen is listed as the 4th bedroom according to the tax records, but it's probably more like a laundry room. Okay, that makes more sense. You could probably get some good bang for your buck on a property like that. The bench is, everybody wants to move to Boise and then they kind of work their way out. So if you can find a little fixer-upper up on the bench, it's Boise and it's under 200. Can't argue with that. Okay, so skipping through, seeing what's just a little bit over the 200 price point. There are just so many to scroll through right now, and we're going to start seeing that all the way through spring through to June. So it is still a little bit of a seller's market because there are so many people who are moving here. But buyers at this time are going to have a few more options available to them. I find that one of the best services that I can provide to either somebody selling or who's buying is to try and work out more of a private sale. So like I know of something that's going to come on the market and try and work out where they can maybe put in an offer before it even gets listed. So your seller is spared from doing the open houses and the major cleanup and all the things that they need to do to prepare to do it, and then your buyer can kind of come in without any competition or multiple offers. So that's the ideal, and I've been able to work that out before, and it's a really a great way to go. But you have to know your realtor and know that they're going to be calling people and seeing if they have anything coming on the market to give you that advantage, or let your realtor know that you're thinking about listing and to go ahead and start making calls to see if they could find somebody to buy the home. You can always ask and see if they have something coming up versus putting it out there. So different. You'll want to do that for an assortment of reasons, and I think that is one of the best things that I can do for people that I work with. Okay, so now we're just going to look at today, and I remembered to bring something to drink this time so I don't cough halfway through this. So just today we have 86 of those listings. So I kind of want to see what just came out today. What's that, Max? Okay, I'm going to feed you in 10 minutes. Okay? Okay, all right. Okay, so today, a $2 million cabin came up in McCall. I have to take pause. I have to look. One, I love the photography. They did this high aerial view with big pine trees and the cabin down here. That was good. And okay, so you have a large lake in McCall and properties that are built all the way around it. This is one of those properties, and it has a dock that goes straight to the lake, Payette Lake. So this now gives you an idea of what a lakefront property in McCall would run. So right now it's at just over $2 million. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 2 stories, over 2,700 square feet. So, and the things that it comes with, it has 72 feet of lake frontage. Of course, it has mature trees, a private back deck, hot tub, a level lawn. That's kind of important. I mean, you wouldn't put that like in a subdivision, but for when you're talking about living in the woods and trees, a level lawn is nice. It's a nice thing to have. Of course, it has they all have a fire pit. I mean, it's good to put that in that it has a fire pit, but let's be real, like all cabins, I think, have a fire pit somewhere. You'll have a sandy beach, of course. We still call it a beach. I don't know if you're like from, Oceanside, but we have beaches. They just go to lakes, and the sand is like bigger. It's more like a fish tank. That's what it makes me think of, is fish tank rocks. Anyways, okay. So it is vacant as well, so you can just go and show. If you want to know more about McCall, definitely hit me up. I love going out there. We're probably out there 3 or 4 times a year, and I feel like it's still a little bit of a hidden spot, but it's still up and coming. It is just a tiny little mountain community with some gorgeous big cabins, but they really strive to keep it small and quaint. I don't know if they're going to be able to help that for long because it is growing, and there are lots available out there where you can build and put in your own cabin, but they're hanging on. Let's see. So I've actually listed a house on this street, so I really want to check out this one. It's 765 on Heartleaf. So Heartleaf is a really interesting little street. It is a teeny tiny little subdivision in southeast Boise, and like every house on this side of the street looks over like the whole valley. Great view. Hey Max, will you see what Zeus has and then take it away from him? Whatever it is, it's attached to a string and he's dragging it across the floor. I officially have 4 children. Gorgeous house, gorgeous view, gorgeous bathroom. What was it? He has been sniffing these binoculars ever since you put them out. So I'm not surprised that he has a whole basket of dog toys. And what does he want? The kids' toys. He wants what everybody else has. I get him. Okay. All right, so let's back it up. Let's see what else is in here. So that came on today. A lot came in at the 450s. Now this one isn't broken down with like new construction and everything. This is just everything that came on today. We got one at 500 that came in as star. Let's see. I think this is just a built, yep, under construction. I was like, there's just one picture and it's of the subdivision. Okay, so that one's new construction. Okay, keep going. Meridian, there's a coming soon. So here's a little tip if you're thinking about hiring a realtor or when to hire a realtor. We have in our MLS coming soon. So when we do a coming soon, we're broadcasting to other realtors that we have a listing. All the information is in there. There's typically no pictures or maybe 1 or 2 pictures. And then also it'll say when the first open house will be. You're not able to put offers on it just yet. And here's the thing, it does not syndicate to Zillow or Realtor.com or Trulia. It doesn't do any of that. So consumers, potential buyers, can't see it. only your agent can see it, and only your agent can make the call and make the arrangements and try and get you in there before anybody else. So that's just a little tip. When you start getting really serious about finding a house, it's time to get your realtor so that they can see things that you can't see, and they can narrow things down that you may not have the ability to narrow down. Just, sometimes when I have people that are looking for homes, and they're on there all the time looking at houses, but I have a specific search set up for them, and I'll have, they'll send me like 10 listings. Like, why not any of these? Because they couldn't filter out everything but their FHA loan. But on the search, I have. So that one or two that's coming to them, it qualifies for their loan type and all the other specifications that they have. And then usually I'll look through these 10 that they send me, and I'll see cash conventional only, or for some reason they don't do an FHA, right? I'll say your loan type doesn't qualify you for that house, which is why I didn't suggest it. But it's hard not to just get on and look and want everything that fits within some simple criteria. It's like, it has my bedrooms, my bathrooms, it's in my price point, I want it. So let's see. If you want to have the option of buying something that could use a little bit more fixing or is not as restrictive, then you want to aim for a conventional loan, which means saving like 20% of the purchase price. So let's say you're approved for, $200,000 and you want to do a conventional loan, you're going to need 20% of that put aside for a down payment, and then you can do a conventional loan. But there are other loan programs. If you don't have that saved up and it's time to move, or you struggle to save up that much, then there are loan programs for you that you can do, like an FHA loan. So they all have their benefit. They all have their pros and cons. So it's important just to get with somebody. I always recommend a lender like 6 months ahead of time. They can tell you what you're approved for and how to change that, how to position yourself to be in the best place possible so that you can buy what you want. So about 6 months before you're ready, that's when you need to talk to a lender. I would say a year before you're ready, that's when you need to find your realtor, because they're going to keep you in the loop. They're going to keep an eye on the market. They're going to have several lenders that they prefer to work with, not for their benefit, but because they take really good care of their clients. My lenders that I recommend is based on the satisfaction of my clients. If they have a good experience with them and I see that my lenders are going above and beyond for them, that is what keeps them as recommended lenders for me. So your realtor will have a good lender recommendation for you. Let's see. Well, let's just check out what else is on here. And I just got a minute or so to go. So in my price point, I always look at my price point of home. So I know my home would go for like $310,000, $315,000. So then I look and say, well, what else goes for that price point? And that tells me if I'm staying in that same position or like what updates I need to make. So like here's one in Meridian for $307,000. Okay, so when you see a really funky price, like $307,640, that is new construction. I don't know of a single realtor who is selling an existing home that would give it a weird price. So anytime you see a funky price like that, it's new construction. $297,148, new construction. I can already tell. Let's see. In Boise for $285. I feel like that's a good price point, but here's the difference between Boise and Meridian. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's on almost 0.14 of an acre, and it's $285. In Meridian, $285 would get you a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, existing home maybe up to a 1/5 or a 1/4 of an acre. New construction might be a smaller footprint, but you would still get about that room size. Then it might come down to like your square footage. So like my home is just under 2,000 square feet, whereas you can build in Meridian a larger square footage, but it's on a smaller acreage size. But that's it's a big difference between what you would get in Boise and what you would get in Meridian. So it just depends on, your lifestyle, I suppose. Meridian has more subdivisions, Boise has, more of like a downtown. Like our downtown is really small. It's like a street. We have like a street for our downtown. I like our downtown. I like all the little places that you can go and eat and have a glass of wine in our downtown. But Boise is like the city. Like it has a whole grid of downtown. So I guess it just depends on what you want. Just going down to see if anything came up in the 200s for the couple of people I'm looking for. And we've got a good little chunk. We have a 175 in Boise. I'm looking. It's only a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. That might still work. Oh, it's cute. It's super cute. It's all gray. And it's got red pots in the front. Red and gray, I think, go together. It's so cute and tiny. It's tiny. Oh, it's 496 square feet. It is tiny. So let that be some perspective. Oh, it has a vintage fridge in it. I'm excited. If I was single, I would totally live in a little house like this. Built in 1930. I think the acreage is swapped on it because it's not possible for it to be on 0.02 of an acre. I don't think. It's probably 0.2 acres, I bet. Maybe. Interesting. Anyways, it's under 500 square feet. It is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and it's stinking cute. It's fully, I wouldn't even say remodeled. I would say, kind of brought back to life. A little bit rejuvenated. And that is pretty much all that we have for today. If you're interested in what else is coming on the market on more of a daily basis, I am happy to keep my eye out for you. If you have questions about this area, feel free to ask. And I don't know why I haven't mentioned it before, but I have an app, and I should be telling you I have an app. So if you want to start your home search in the Boise area, go to ninapalmer.com, and right up at the top you can download my app. So and then we can work on this together. Again, if you have any questions, definitely send me a PM, and if you're watching this on YouTube, which is where this is going to be going, and you want a weekly update, just subscribe. See you guys next week.